Hey Virgo, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net, and I'm here doing your January 2017 tarot reading. So thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to, Scorpio just got that card, to do a modified Celtic cross for you, just to get an idea, maybe some of the energies that some of you may be experiencing in January. Whoops. Ah. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, so okay, for some of you, um, you may be leaving a relationship, a job situation, any sort of some situation you've been dealing with that, like every time, not every time, but more often than not, you are in that situation and you feel very stressed or worried or depressed or um, even abused in some way. It's just a very negative environment that you're in, and you've gotten to the point where you're just like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to take care of myself, my emotional well-being, and remove myself from this situation and walk away and let it go. So this is really a very healthy um, card, because by this point you've tried. I mean, there are 8 cups in this. And so you could say, well, if you've put in 8 cups, then you don't want to walk away now. But there is a point, and that, I've put in 8 cups and I'm still, this is not fulfilling. It's taking away from me. It keeps taking these cups from me. And she's leaving with absolutely no cups. What is she? She has it looks like a violin in her hand. What else is in her hand? I haven't really ever looked. But she's not bringing any cups. She's not getting any emotional fulfillment out of this situation anymore. And you can't just be in a situation where you're always giving and never receiving. And she's moving towards this water here. She's moving on in search of a place to fill her own cups. And in the near past, you had the 5 of Cups. So this is the other breakup card. And so it could for some of you be a relationship, but it can be any sort of situation where um, you need to, it needs to come to an end. You need to physically and emotionally remove yourself from the situation. But of course, this card says not all is lost. There are the spilled cups, but there are the full cups here. It's a card about grieving. It's a bit of a card that about things being a process. So you may be coming into January feeling just a little sad. Like you've had, even though this card is a very beneficial card, really overall, because you're removing yourself from a bad situation, it doesn't mean you're like super happy that you've had to come to this decision and walk away. So there can be a process of grieving of when you're dealing with that situation. Now it's interesting. You have two. Some of you may be having a hard time letting go. You're still sort of clinging to it, and this is where, if you're in the grieving process, you can get stuck in one of the there's anger, denial, depression, I'm forgetting them all, until you get to acceptance. And it's very normal for people to get it looks like there's still a couple steps to go if you look at the cups, for people to hang on too tight and bargain. Bargaining is one of them. So some of you may still be working through this grief process about some event in your life. This doesn't mean you're going to come in just completely floored, but it could be like, I really had to step away from that one friendship. I really had to stop the PTA because it was just, there's this controlling person that, was ruining it. I really can't continue to um, coach yoga, lead yoga classes on my time off because it's too much for me. And whatever. So it doesn't have to be like you're getting a divorce or you're totally breaking up with someone. It could be, but so it doesn't have to be all consuming. But in some area of your life, it's kind of like, you need to move on, but you're still having trouble completely letting go. And then also after a situation like that, this is a card about boundaries too. It's like, okay, where are my boundaries too weak? Where are they too strong? And trying to figure that out. And that can be a little difficult because you're like, okay, am I to blame for that situation? Did I allow someone to take advantage of me? Was I too closed off? And you can kind of get stuck in thinking about it maybe a little bit too much. And there does have to come to the point of acceptance that it was what it was, and of course you should reflect and try to figure out what happened, but there is a point where you need to let it go and accept that it just was what it was, and it's time to move forward. And it's pretty nice because you got the Ace of Cups here. So for some of you that it was a relationship, this is new love. This is new. This could be love for yourself, but this is a new emotional beginning. So you are working through that. You accomplish working through that. And that doesn't mean once you've let something go, you never think about it again. That would be nice, but that's not human nature. But it's like you're able to acknowledge it and let it go. And you don't stay stuck in it. It's not something that will consume you. So this can be a new job that really feeds your soul, a new relationship, a new hobby, a new kind of any sort of new things that kind of you're like, hey, I feel like my cups are getting filled back up again. This is emotionally making me feel better and restoring my faith in things. It's a really beautiful card. You're dipping your toe back in the water. Or she's actually maybe in the water. Oh, she's putting her hand under the fountain. She's like reaching out and touching, putting her emotions, touching the water. Like I'm able to put myself out there again. So you've really worked through a lot of what I just explained. And now here's the Eight of Cups. You walk away from something, you turn your back on something, but here's the thing you're turning towards. Here's what's in front of you. A new possibility, a new beginning. So this is what you want most. And this is telling you that you are in charge of your life. You are the only one in charge of your life. You are the one that has to be responsible for any actions and decisions you make. So no matter how much other people in your environment are pressuring you or telling you what to do, once you do something, it's all on you. Trust me, those people aren't going to be around going, oh, you're right, it's my fault that I told you to do that. They're going to be like, dude, you're on your own. You did it. You chose it. I'm really sorry. So, the emperor, he thinks about all of his subjects, all the people he rules that he's a leader for, but then he has to make a decision and to do what's best for at least the majority of people. But he can't make everyone happy. So you can't make everyone happy. And you need to make decisions. Of course, consider everyone else. But in the end, it has to be what's right for you in that moment because you will be the one answering for it in the future and living through the consequences. Sorry, good or bad. And then we have the devil. So I feel like for some of you, you are dealing with like a codependent relationship and someone that maybe someone's hanging on too tightly for you and you're trying to walk away. Or maybe this new relationship comes in, this new situation with the Ace of Cups, and your inner demons are worrying you. Hi, sweetie. I'm in the middle of a reading. It's okay. I'll be done very soon though, okay? So maybe after you just, you've had these experiences in the past where situations didn't work out and the Ace of Cups comes, and that's great, and all of a sudden your inner demons pop up and you're like, oh, I'm really worried, what if it doesn't work out? And you get all fearful and negative and maybe fall back into some old patterns. So this card is really, or someone's trying to get you back and trying to suck you back into their drama. So this is really just a warning to be on the lookout for that. Forearmed is forewarned. Forewarned is forearmed. Um, just yeah, be aware. Be aware. And then again, you can acknowledge it and let it go and not have it get the best of you. So let's look at these overall cards. Oh my, yeah, nice. You have the strength. You can make yourself vulnerable again. You can accept this Ace of Cups and deal with that devil, and you'll be fine. You have the strength to try and move forward and be vulnerable, and you will have the grace and dignity and confidence to deal with it however it works out. And so for a lot of you, this is a new relationship. I mean, this is the ultimate love card of the tarot. It's also a beautiful card of partnerships, of really having an emotional affinity and support with another person, another situation. So for those of you who have had, and it doesn't even have to be exactly the most recent past, but have had situations in the past that have kind of scarred you and that you're still struggling with and hanging on to, and it's like you really need to make sure you've dealt with that so that when this new opportunity comes in, the devil doesn't creep up and sabotage it. But I think you're going to be fine. I mean, you have the Emperor here, the Strength card. You are taking charge. You are seeing things. You have your eyes wide open. You're happy to walk away from things you're not going to stay in situations till 8 cups anymore. You're going to acknowledge if it's not working and remove yourself. You're going to have the strength to do that. And because you're going to be more discerning, when the right one comes along, you will not be in some negative situation. You will have had the strength to wait it out till you've found the right one. Because you'll be happy, just as happy to be alone with your cats, right? Seriously, like I can stand on my own alone. I don't need someone else. And so I'm not going to settle. But when the right thing comes along, I've done the work that I'm ready for it. Right? All right, cool. Well, I'll leave it at that. I hope you have a wonderful January. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you at the next video. Take care.